Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. So today I'm giving an update on the saga of the Challenger here. So just a couple updates to the whole saga of the Challenger, because I know a lot of people watched probably the last video and didn't know even why I'm selling the car. So the reason I'm selling the Challenger is because it was my wife's car. I bought it for my wife. It was never my car. I never really even drove it. I drove it like a couple times. But I got her the car for, you know, to drive for like as long as she could, and then I would get her a different car, and I did. I got her the beautiful Model 3 here, you see, which I had on order since the very first announcement date. So obviously that order is no longer needed. You can just go out and buy one, but I did put down my deposit right in the beginning, so I had planned on getting one. It's just took a bit before I was ready. So another note that I wanted to give was that it does have, the only mod on this thing is the race bullet mufflers. I'm not even sure where they are under here. They're under there somewhere. So that's why it has a little bit more of a throaty sound. So I did submit the car to give me the VIN, bring me the VIN, whatever it's called, to give me the VIN. And they gave me an offer that was actually better than the CarMax offers, slightly better. So you guys probably are mostly going to be able to guess what it is, given that the CarMax offer was $30,000. And Give Me the VIN does advertise that they will pretty much always beat CarMax, and they did, very first time in my case as well. So I'll go through the process in which you submit a car to the company, and I'll show you what they gave me back. And it's not bad, not a bad way to work it. So a good alternative for anyone who doesn't want to go to CarMax or wants to be able to get an offer without going somewhere, to just get a competitive offer before they trade in a car or something like that. So I think it's pretty cool. Look, that shows you that it is cold here. All the tires are at 25 psi. At least the tires are all consistent. That's a good sign. So, and the fluid is low. So you can tell we have not been driving this car, and it has 10,059 miles, which is like 8 or 9 more than when I took it to CarMax, because I do, of course, periodically drive the car around, like around the block or whatever. I never like cars to just sit there, because everybody knows that that's bad for them. So I just like to drive it like at least once a week, just around the block or whatever, just to make sure the fluids are flowing, to get the juices flowing. So anyway, let me go over the process with Give Me the VIN. So the first thing on Give Me the VIN, the only thing you actually need is either your VIN or your license plate. I used the VIN. I didn't try to use the license plate, but supposedly it'll work with the license plate as well. I think that probably depends on the state and a few other factors. Enter either your plate number or your VIN. And in my case, I entered the VIN and your mileage and your zip code. And in my case, the car, I put 10,100 miles, even though it has less than that, just for a buffer. So if I add some miles, I'm not lying. Then the first thing, this is a good sign for anyone who has concerns. First thing they ask is based on the zip code, which is in Houston, Texas, has this car ever been flooded or had water damage? So they do ask that. Of course, people can lie, but it's probably illegal if you lie, because it's fraud. This car, of course, has not had flood damage, so I hit no. But just keep in mind that a lot of cars in Houston have over the years. And then it asks, like everybody, to select the vehicle, because the VIN doesn't give it enough detail. Then it gives you to where you can enter all the options. Do you have a loan? Are you replacing the vehicle? The options, does it have leather? Is it manual, automatic, navigation? All the different options a vehicle can have. And then you upload some photos. These are the particular photos that I used. And I also included a screenshot of the window sticker of the car, just to give further detail of the options that the car has, because again, you can't always determine all that from the VIN. So then you just submit it to them, and then pretty much immediately or within a few minutes, I got a confirmation and they give you a range, and I think in this particular case the range was 29 to 30, 31.5 or something like that. It was like a slight range of what they think it'll be worth, but they have to review the documents and the pictures or whatever, and then they'll give you an actual offer. The next thing they do is they assign a buyer. In my particular case, it was Rusty Rickaby. I guess maybe that's I don't know if that's just my guy or if that's like the main company dude or what. But anyway, he emailed me and said he was working on it. And then I got the actual offer, and the offer is here. So the offer was for $31,000, which, as you know, is $1,000 higher than CarMax was. So not a huge amount more, but more is more, and $1,000 is $1,000. So clearly CarMax has their work cut out for them if Give Me the VIN was able to come up with a better offer. But nonetheless, that's not a bad offer. I mean, it's obviously getting warmer. 31,000 is a lot closer to a number I would be happy with, which, I don't really particularly have a number I would be happy with, but just I would like to lose as little as possible, which is I think anyone's goal. So yeah, I mean, they do clearly advertise that they will beat CarMax offers or pay you $100, and they don't have to pay me $100 because they did beat CarMax offer. So I didn't sell the car to them, obviously, because I'm still weighing my options on what I'm going to do with this thing. It's like it's not hurting me. The insurance is kind of high and the payment's kind of high, but we'll see. I'll give it a couple more months or whatever. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. I'm still weighing my options. I like to do lots of research before I just make a plunge, especially when I'm in a $10,000 hole. So I would encourage anyone to watch the video before that. When I was initially saying that I was selling this car, I went kind of over the payment, what I owe, what I paid for it, and all those details that I know a lot of people will be curious for. But there we have it. The offer from Give Me the VIN was $31,000 for this 2018 Charger 392 TA. Yeah, no matter how you slice it, there's a year ago, this 2018 car was MSRP'd by Dodge for $55,000, and a year later it's worth 30-ish. Of course that's wholesale versus private party versus MSRP. I mean, obviously that's the numbers aren't apples to apples, but it still does represent a pretty good depreciation, which is not uncommon to a lot of cars in the market. BMWs, Mercedes, all of those cars depreciate just as much or even more, given that they have higher sticker values. But those, I think the depreciation curve is a little bit less steep initially, where it takes like a year or two and then it takes a steep dive, especially when the newer models come out and you look like you have the old car. So yeah, so it is what it is. Just wanted to throw that out there, share that offer. The next thing I'm probably going to be doing is taking the car to maybe Texas Direct Auto and Carvana. So I will probably get those done this week, and then we'll go from there. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Peace.